What's up, everybody? Those lights are pretty cool, huh? How's everybody doing? Before I jump into the film study, I just wanted to follow up on the last video and answer maybe some of the concerns, comments. First of all, I never said the word chemtrails in that entire video. At least I don't remember saying the word. I called them contrails. And, I try to be as objective as possible. And I think I just spoke the truth about this phenomenon that's very, very difficult to ignore, hard to ignore. I did use the phrase conspiracy theory in the video jokingly, but I did not provide any conspiracy theories. I didn't talk about any conspiracies. And, I call them contrails, but you could call them chemtrails. They're also chemtrails. I mean, what the fuck do you think is coming out those exhaust pipes, those engines? Fairy dust? They're chemicals. The fucking plane leaves a trail of chemicals. It's a chemtrail. And I'm pretty sure it's not good for you. It can't be good for you. It will blanket cover the sky and leave the city in the haze. It's fucked up. And that's just the truth. Now, back to boxing. Yunier Dorticos versus Kudryashov. Takes a jab to the body, right? Anyway, Kudryashov's not that good. Like, he's got some boxing skill, but he's kind of fragile and maybe probably drained at the weight. Flat-footed, little... His punching power or speed's pretty good, but he's pretty flat-footed and... What happened there? Defense is decent. Ooh, just got caught with a right hand. Very nice punch. Dortico is not setting up anything. He's not really... He's just countering. Or he's catching Kudryashov on the way in, right? Boom. He steps off the line. Slips the left hand from Kudryashov and looks like he hits him with the left, right? I don't know how clean that punch is, but he's punching at him right away, right? What is this? The first 30 seconds of the fight, and he's just going for it, right? Look at that. Hard jab, hard left hand, hard right hand, right? Same here. Jab, left hand. He's just going for it. He's moving around, changing the angle, popping the pretty fast straight jab out there. He's got pretty good movement, right? But he's not really probing or feigning or anything. He's looking to counter or just throws the hard 1-2, 1-2, right? And commits to every punch. This dude's a puncher, boxer puncher. Hard jabs, right? Not really setting them up, just throwing the jabs out there. Leading, countering. Going to the head and body, right? Mixing it up a little bit now, but he's just throwing punches right away. Right? He's not taking no time to study his opponent or whatever. He's just going for it. He's a very athletic, proactive, reactive kind of a fighter. He's a puncher, man. And he likes to fight. Now he's taking a bit of a breather, looks like. Right? Looks like maybe he landed a couple of shots to the body. But takes a shot to the body and a little jab. But he's a more physical, faster, stronger, more active guy. He's outworking Kudryashov at this point, right? Kudryashov is able to get him to the ropes then. He doesn't really cut the ring off. He's able to get him to the body with the little jab. Looks like they exchanged left hooks maybe. Maybe Kudryashov landed better, right? But Kudryashov is, it looks like he landed a left hook on him. See how Kudryashov set him up for that body shot? Just showed him some bullshit upstairs. After he cracked him upstairs, I'd show him some whatever, and then boom. Caught him to the body with the right hand, right? And then just stands there and takes a receipt, but just blocks the punches. Kudryashov's actually probing a little bit. Dorticos, no, he just throws everything with power. He's trying to counter this dude. Boom. Kind of clubbing wide punches, not very straight. That left hand wasn't very straight. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying left hand. Right hand. Because he's a Cuban, right? I'm brainwashed to believe he's a southpaw, I guess. It must be it. I don't know. Right? Just starts throwing hard punches at this guy without really setting them up very well. He uses the jab. He's working off the jab, you know what I mean? But a lot of the times the jab is hard too. He just commits to most of his shots. He's got pretty decent movement. But, takes jabs from clean, right on the mouth, head jarring jabs from a guy that has a reach disadvantage, I believe, right? So he's not necessarily controlling the distance very well. Kind of flat-footed, right? He moves pretty well, but he's flat-footed. And look how he commits to, because he commits to his shot so much, and he's flat-footed, he will fall off balance a little bit. He just lunges in just a little bit. I mean, he commits to his shot. He gets himself out of position a little bit, right? Oof, and almost gets countered, but doesn't. Avoids the counter punch. But the punch was on time. It wasn't long enough, right? But it was on time, on target, except not really, because it wasn't long enough. Ooh, maybe grazed him. But, he just went straight to work, right? Dorticos. And Kudryashov responded. But he's doing a pretty good job. He's moving well. He's outworking him. What's up with the love handles, though? He's not body beautiful, but I don't know. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but, keep it in mind. And I'm sure a lot of you already have thought about that and what that means, maybe. He starts out with a nice sharp jab, but look, he has no control of his opponent or anything, right? He doesn't control distance, even though he has the longer reach. You could still hit him. He gets hit through the guard a little bit. Nothing serious, but the jab's flying at him, and he, no big deal. He's able to counter. I like his footwork, He steps off the line. He throws that left hand. Moves his head off the line. See? He keeps going to his left and throwing consecutive left hands. So even though he's a little predictable and slightly robotic, he's better than Rigondeaux, at least when it comes to this. Because see how he changed the angle? Now he's going to step slightly to the left, change the angle a little bit, and he's going to do it again, right? Boom. He was changing the angle constantly so that Kudryashov couldn't counter him very easily and just kept throwing the same combination. So, he's got some skill, but, he does a lot of things right, but he also makes mistakes, and he's not doing the best job of setting up his punches, right? And he just likes to brawl a little bit too, right? He just he gets countered there and gets pissed off and goes in to get his lick back, right? He likes to get his lick back, which is, quality of that like a champion should have. But he's there to be caught. He's exchanging punches. He's getting caught, but they're not very sharp counters. They're not very fast punches. Some of them aren't very clean at all. They don't land. But, he's there. He's getting hit. He likes to have a little bit of a tear up. He's not spending too much time. He's mixing up his combinations a little bit, but everything's hard, right? Everything he throws is just hard, hard, hard. He's got good boxing skill, but he's not very technical, right? He's not showing that he's very technical. He's got decent punch technique, not the best, but look, he's basically just, again, so many fighters do this, right? Punching through the guy, punching at his guard, instead of like switching it up and right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, just repetitive, same thing, and so repetitive and in this rhythm and wide open also, right? Obviously, Kudryashov is probably a little hurt or just being careful. But, maybe he's playing possum, trying to catch him with the counter left hook. And Dortico gets out the way, and good for him. And his hand was protecting his chin. So good job. But, he does commit to his shots, so he's there for counters. And Kudryashov's not that fast. You know what I mean? Boom, boom. Just kept doing the same thing. There he blocks the counter. But, gets hit with jabs fairly easily. Even though he has a reach advantage, and it's something that people talk about, he doesn't really use his reach advantage. He likes to be in the pocket. But, he's open to the body, or not that open actually, but he's there. His body's there. And it's kind of fleshy. Right? He takes some jabs. I think he's getting outboxed a little bit right now. And, he threw so many punches and so hard, he has to take a breather right now, right? He fights in spurts. And here's another spurt, right? And he probed a little bit there. And try to loop the left hand. You see, does it again. And Kudryashov sets him up to the body, right? Like Kudryashov sets up his punches a little bit better. He has a little bit more variety. It's not just like jab, right hand, right? And he's able to land to the body. And Dorticos right there, right? This is a little bit like Triple G stopping. Why can't I remember his name right now? You know who I'm talking about. Anyway. Gets him a little bit there, pulls his glove down, and looks like maybe rocks him just a little bit, and Kudryashov gets off balance. He doesn't have the best balance either. And exposes himself, right? And gets hit with just a clean right hand. He steps right into that punch and pays for it. Very nice knockout, but I guess no replay on that. Let's see. I guess not. We're gonna have to do our own replay. Right? Everything's thrown with power. Everything up. Yeah, maybe he buzzed him a little bit with that first right hand around the guard. But Kudryashov is right there in the pocket with him, right? Yeah, he gets him a little bit, throws him off balance, and follows up with the right hand, and he's able to get through. He was able to find the openings and punch through him a little bit at the same time, right? But he was basically just reacting of what Kudryashov was doing, looking to counter, or just punching through him, not doing the best job of setting up his shots, right? This one has sound. I don't know why the other file downloaded without sound, but I don't know how much you guys can hear either. Anyway, obviously we got Gassiev versus Włodarczyk, and Włodarczyk is significantly better quality fighter than Kudryashov, and I mean that really should be self-explanatory, but I figured I'd point that out. Even past his prime, not what he used to be, for damn sure. Not as good as he was in his prime. He's still a very capable fighter, and man, I know he's crouching a little bit more, or maybe not, but it looks significantly smaller. He didn't look smaller in the that gala they had, gala, World Boxing Super Series when the draft. Yeah, that's it. But here he seems to be quite a bit bigger. But look at how Włodarczyk is moving. He's changing levels. He has a tight guard. He's faster than Kudryashov, right? Moves much better than Kudryashov. He's got good footwork. Gassiev's just jabbing a little bit, nothing serious. Look how active his lead hand is, Gassiev. He's constantly, changing. His hand is very active. He's feigning. He's probing a little bit sometimes, mostly feigning. It's giving him a different look, and uses it to set up a jab, right? He shows him a little probe. Boom. Gets him to react to it just a little bit, and hits him with the jab. It sends him back, right? He's even setting up his jab. He's not just throwing the jab and then the right hand. He's setting up even his jab. Did you see that little slide move? A little step forward. Boop. Except you didn't just step straight forward, right? You step forward and around, right? Very much like what Dorticos was doing. He's not coming straight in, right? Probing, making sure he has good sense of the distance all the time, right? And look, he's taller than Włodarczyk. He looks bigger. I'm sure he's stronger. He's younger. All those things, and he comes with the rep of a puncher. So Włodarczyk, even if Gassiev doesn't have the best feinting and probing game, Dorticos didn't show any in that fight, right? And just the fact that he punches so hard, Gassiev, it makes his maybe average probing game, feigning game, a lot better, because you have to respect this guy's power. So you have to respect his feint, right? So it helps him out. It's nice to have good punching power, very good punching power, crushing punching power, because it makes your probing game that much more respectable too. You know what I mean? And it makes it better. He's giving him different looks. He's like Lomachenko, like a lot of fighters, right? Leaning this way and watching him, Trying to see what he does. Leads with the left hook, but doesn't come straight in, right? He steps around. Responsible defense. He's not controlling. He could be using control better, but you see him constantly probing, right? Shows him a little probe upstairs, goes to the body. He's setting up everything just about. Double jab. He hasn't even really been dropping the right hand yet. He's tracking him down very well. He's cutting the ring off. He's not the best at cutting the ring off, but he's pretty good. Here he's just tracking him. He's right with him, right? Boom. Why does he throw that punch there? That cutoff punch, right? Because he wants him in that corner, right? He wants to get him in the corner. Boom. But Włodarczyk slips out or is able to keep moving, but almost gets put in that. Now he wants to throw straight punches, right? Gassiev. Look at the... Man, this guy's improving so much. I've never seen this much head movement from him before, you know what I mean? Changing levels a little bit. Bending his knees better. Now he's throwing... Did you see the little feint? Just like jiggled his hand a little bit. Must have seen something and then just went for it. There he just timed him. Right? But now he's throwing the left right. Left right. Controlling with his jab, taking his time, not throwing his punches with a lot of power behind them, not trying to be super fast or explosive, you know, just taking his time. See? When he has him passing in front of the corner, boom, he's trying to get him in the corner, right? Boom. Right? Cuts the ring off. Bam. Right? He has him looking to exit. Cuts his exit off. But everything is like... Just the fact that he moves his lead hand so much and his lead hand is so active, like... It just makes it more difficult to deal with this guy. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I guess that's how the video downloaded. Oh, fuck me. Are you serious? Yeah, I guess I should have watched this fight. What round is this? 3? Sorry about that. I'm not doing this shit again. I don't know what happened with my player there. No, we didn't even finish the first round, did we? Man, I'm high. He goes straight back when Włodarczyk wants to throw punches. But he moves pretty well, right? Okay, I remember this. A little bouncy, but Włodarczyk is starting to move his feet faster, I think. So, yeah. See how he bounced with them? Boom. Saw him bouncing and just tracked him. Whoop. Right? Go watch Triple G Kell Brook. You'll see the same thing. Throws the right punch when he's moving into that punch, right? And he loops it a little bit. He understands how to cut the ring off with punches and his feet. walks into jabs a little bit sometimes, but his hands are up. I don't think he gets hit right there. He could do a better job of controlling it and moving his head too, but there he gets reminded because he almost got touched with the jab and starts moving his head a little bit more. Włodarczyk's moving really well. Like, Kudryashov can't move like this, can he? It'd be interesting to see Dorticos trying to track somebody down. Yeah, I realized we're watching this again, but it is what it is. See, there he sat on this jab a little bit. Boom. Or threw it with speed and power, right? That was a fast jab. Didn't really do a good job of setting it up, and Włodarczyk saw it. Okay, he kind of hooked off the jab. Well, he jabbed and then Włodarczyk rolled, so he tried to turn the jab into a hook. You see? Oversteps his boundary a little bit. Takes a jab. I don't think he got hit, but, it's there. Probing, right? Trying to get a feel for what's going on. Dealing with a very mobile opponent. Not doing the best job of cutting off the ring, but, Włodarczyk got feet, right? All right. See how he feints while moving forward? Look at that. Look at that footwork. That's some good-ass footwork, man. It's not the best, but, he could have been throwing punches through that whole movement. There was nothing there. Włodarczyk was able to step back and away from, potential punches, but yeah, he'll walk into jabs a little bit, right? But you're not knocking him out with that shit. Left, right, right? Left, right. And he's showing him that combination, right? Left, right. Jab, and then right cross. Sometimes double jab. But basically, after the jab, the right hand is coming at you, right? Włodarczyk can't hit him with anything. He gets out of there, right? Kudryashov would have been standing there and taking body shots, right? This guy gets out of there. He could be circling out, but it's something he's got to learn too. But it's better than just standing there anyway, right? And is able to catch him to the body with a couple of little shots. Or just one. Doing a variety of punches. Mostly setting them up, right? Probing, and just kind of throwing combination with not that much speed. Just looking to get your accuracy down, right? Practicing, basically. But then goes back to left, right. Walks into jabs again, right? That wasn't good. He made a mistake there. But, hard to knock a guy out with that. If you could step back and follow that one of those jabs with like a sharp right hand through the guard, you might hurt him, right? But you got to have some skill and some countering ability. But Gassiev is firmly in control now. And I know people will watch this, and I've heard people say this, and they'll say, well, the other guy didn't do anything, right? Well, that's true, but that's how Włodarczyk fights, especially in his big fights. If you go watch him fighting Danny Green in Australia and Rakim Chakiev, you'll see that they were very close fights, and he was maybe in one, maybe in both of them, he was down on the cards, just not by much, but he was losing the fight. And then he, after he gets a feel for his opponent and he saves his strength up for the later rounds, and he has his opponent timed and measured, Włodarczyk will start punching, right? He will have saved a lot of his power for the later rounds, and then he'll go to work when he has a good understanding of his opponent. And he's been able to, win fights like that and do it impressively, in very impressive fashion. It's just one of the strategies he utilizes. And that's what it looks like he's doing here. Except Gassiev is so physically, look at that nice little combination, so physically imposing, and he comes with the rep, and he's little, difficult to deal with. He's feigning you. He moves pretty well. He's cutting the ring. He's applying lots of pressure without really exerting himself. Like, he's a handful to deal with. And if you're already a timid guy who takes his time, which is not who Dortico is, right? It's gonna take you out your game, right? It's gonna make you look like you're not doing anything. That was very quick, very fast, right? Just use the cuffing right hand, not a strong punch. It wasn't meant to be strong, to move him into the left uppercut, right? And landed a nice little left uppercut. But still was just throwing it with good speed, but not a lot of power, just boxing, right? A little bit of power, but not a whole bunch of power. But it was the left hand. Was it left hand, right? No, it was right hand, left hand. He reversed what he's been doing. But he's throwing one hand after the other usually. And generally left, right, left, right. See how he's probing, looking to control his opponent. Just little punches, nothing big. Just getting fast hands, right? This dude got fast hands. And setting up the body punch. Boom. Controlling him a little bit, tapping him, and then bam, going to the body, right? Włodarczyk is feeling the pressure, but, he fights back a little bit sometimes, but can't really get much going, right? Gassiev isn't exactly easy to hit, right? Protects himself, he's defensively responsible, gets out of the way of punches, goes straight back, So if you're a fighter that comes forward very well, and you could throw punches on the move, you could give him problems. But his hands are up, He's working the body a little bit, looking to set stuff up. Probing, looking for the uppercut, taking his time, Feigning, doing a whole bunch of feigning, and then leading with the right hand. Mixing it up really well. And then touching them, right? Left hand, right. Touching him with the left, dropping a pretty hard right. See? Using the left to move him into the right. Or the right to move him into the left. And Włodarczyk can't hit him, right? Włodarczyk's trying to set stuff up, but his defense is pretty good. Pretty good hard jab, right? Probes and then commits to the jab. A lot of probing now. Everything comes off like a feint or a probe, generally. Not everything, but see? And then he changes up the rhythm of his punches, right? Sometimes he's pop, pop, sometimes he's pop, pop, right? Sometimes he's pop, 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 boop, boop. It's not just like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. A lot more versatile than Dortico, right? Defensively responsible. Controlling with the jab. Probing upstairs, going to the body. Takes a little jab to the body, but, gets out of there. Kind of looked like it might be a headbutt coming. Boom. He's cutting the ring off on him or making him pay for getting out, right? Left, right, left. Starting to mix it up. But left and then right. It's a pattern, right? It's typical boxing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 1. Everything off the one, right? But he's throwing the left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. Or right hand, left hand. That's for sure been the pattern, right? And here, slaps, nothing. He doesn't score there, but you see how he's using one hand to move him into the way of the other punch, right? Showing him different things. And then what does he do? After this whole fight, he's establishing this pattern of 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Or 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes maybe 3, 1. After he does that, he starts with the left hand and finishes with the left hand, right? That's the first time in the fight where he throws consecutive power punches with the left hand. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. And goes to the body and the head. After he was showing him left, right, got him conditioned to understanding that. And it's basic stuff, right? That's how most fighters punch most of the time. Got him used to a certain kind of rhythm and then broke away from it. Boom. Right? Włodarczyk thought probably in his mind's eye that there was going to be a right hand coming after that left hand. Oh wait, was there? He tapped him with one, didn't he? Yeah, he just, wow, I didn't even notice that. He's pretty fast. He did show him the right hand, but it was just to occupy him, just to reinforce that conditioning, I guess. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he throws that and then touches him with the right and then goes with the uppercut. And these are some punches that he's sat down on these punches, right? More so than any other punch. Like, that's how you know he was setting this up, because he wasn't throwing this hard. So the first time he throws 2 power punches with the left hand after leading with the left hand, he also punches harder than ever before in the fight and sits down on the shots, right? He set him up. This is how you set a guy up. And it's one of the ways you can. Did you see that tiny little right hand? Just reinforce that conditioning and then went bam to the body and knockout. Now, did Włodarczyk quit? Yeah, I mean, when you go down from body shots and you don't get up, you're basically quitting. To what extent he quit, whether he could not have continued, he probably could have continued, but he was just going to get knocked out. Because he's for damn sure hurt, and this guy's been setting him up for this, and I'm sure he has some tactic for when he has his opponent hurt, what to do, where to take it from there. You know what I mean? And Włodarczyk understood all that. He's a savvy boxer. He knows what he's looking at, and he knows he's getting hit, and it's hard for him to hit this guy. And he's old, and he has this I'm too old for this shit moment. You know what I mean? And he checks out, and it is what it is. But Włodarczyk's still a better quality fighter than Kudryashov, and he wasn't in this fight at all. And look at the defense. Oh, we have a replay. See, touched him a little bit, showed him the right hand a little bit. Boop, bam. Just to kind of keep him in place, keep him from maybe bending too low. But, showed him the right hand and just dropped the left again. right? He's not looking to punch through the guy. He wants to create the openings. He's not really waiting for the guy to give him openings, because Włodarczyk's not going to give you any openings. He's not going to give you anything. You got to go get it, right? He's not Kudryashov, who's just going to fall off balance with his chin exposed right and crossing in front of your right hand. You know what I mean? So you got to go get it. And, you know, Dorticos a good fighter, but I haven't seen very much technique from him. You know, he's a strong dude, but he's pretty, from what I've seen, you know, he's pretty basic. Kind of repetitive sometimes a little bit robotic, but, you know, he moves well. He's pretty athletic, but he also has, you know, a bit of a muffin top. And this guy's a hellacious body puncher, and Kudryashov was able to land to the body, and this guy finds the body too very well, you know, and it's not that easy to hit him. So it's not really a 50-50 fight, guys. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Murat Gassiev scored a very impressive knockout before the fourth round, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see. Just some things I notice and why I believe Gassiev is going to win the fight, why I believe he's the better fighter, you know, not just looking at how he fights, that he's more versatile, he's faster, he looks like he punches harder too, and his defense is better. He's not as emotional, he's more controlled, he's patient. Dorticos very gung-ho. So unless like Dortico can just punch through this guy or happen to catch him with something early because Gassiev's not very careful, which isn't going to happen. Gassiev's going to be very careful. Look how much he respected Włodarczyk, right? Anytime Włodarczyk threw punches at him, he basically just covered up and got out of there. You know, just the way these guys match up, you have to favor Gassiev. Not by a lot, because you got to respect Dortico and you got to give him a chance to show us something that he hasn't, you know. But at the same time, I'm not seeing that much improvement from Dortico. I think he's basically plateaued and become the fighter that he will just be. This guy is getting better with every fight, and he's showing me new things with every fight. You know, this 10th month off layoff that he had did him good, because he was in the gym and he was working on things, right? So just because a young fighter is laid off for a long time, like what's his face, Nicholas Walters, that's not necessarily a negative. That could be, if the fighter is disciplined and he's dedicated to his craft, that could very well be to his benefit and the detriment of his opponent. So, and this guy's, you know, always in tip-top shape, and Dortico, you know, I don't know, maybe he's just a light guy, and he can afford to have some fat in there, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean he's not in good shape necessarily, but he could carry a little bit of fat into the ring, because, you know, maybe he's just a skinny guy and he wants some padding for the abs that are hidden under that little bit of fat. You never know, but it doesn't look good necessarily, right? It makes you wonder how he's going to take body punches. So, but if Dortico is able to jump on Gassiev and break him out of his rhythm, or disrupt him enough, push him back enough, and not let him work his game plan, he could win this fight. But I just don't think it's going to happen. So those are my initial thoughts. Some of the initial thoughts. I intend to do more film study, but hope you like this one. This is what I got for now, and get the fuck out from up under those chemtrails. That's all I'm saying.